Good evening, United Rogue Overwatch. We've got for you tonight an absolute spicy game here. We've got some interesting hero bands. I mean, coming in here, pretty much, I guess, with just one thing to say, it's Gambit time. Zach, what do you think?
It is Gamba time indeed. The first look of this new Detroit Wolfpack coming out this season. They had a bye week last week. Louisville going up, clean win last week. Going into this week, Louisville winning the coin toss, opting to go to Nepal first. And Detroit with the first ban, they banned out Hazard. Louisville's response, banning Junkrat.
And I mean, we were talking about that here just a second ago. The Junkrat here on Blue Jay, with the amount of crazy tire spots that you can get on Nepal, I'm not even remotely surprised, right? Short hallways, I guarantee you, had Junk been in the game, you would have seen Blue Jay all over it, putting in some solid work. Not to glaze too hard.
not to glaze too hard indeed, but we have the Hazard ban coming through on the side of Detroit, clearly starting to target Banger, target the tank player, but also kind of just shut down the Hazard, shut down what has been the meta-defining tank for the past season.
Yeah, and it's a smart ban to have. We've seen last season Naptime put in some absolutely scaring work on the Hazard. Not surprised, frankly, by either of these bans. It may look a little bit strange, but there's deep thought and history behind each one. Coming out here, what do you think going into this? Who are our star players? Who are we looking out for? What are our game changers?
On the side of Louisville. We're looking to Dyer, a DPS player for Dallas last season, moving into the tank role and then utterly dominating. Now, what can he do on this team now that new team around him, new environment, looking to him to pop off? But we have Blue Jay on the other side. No Junkrat in it. No Junkrat available to him right now. Opting to go to the Torbjorn to start off.
Absolutely, and we do have some United Rogue Overwatch first-time rookies here in this match. Keep an eye out on the following names. We've got Shadowy, I believe, Graveloat, and I think that's it for those two, right? Or is Helios also part of that?
Helios, I believe, is also new to United Rogue Overwatch this season, but would have played last week with Louisville's opening match. As I say that, though, Gravelet on the Soj, opening up, finding the opening pick onto Helios, and Blue Jay answers back for Banger down. Dyer does get a diamond off in response, but it should be, as the point opens up, it should be Detroit, moving towards point.
And, I mean, a little bit of a split push here coming out of Louisville, but honestly, they're regrouping here. It's the very beginning of the game. The thing is cracking this high ground from Detroit is going to be rough. They've got the Torb turret set up there. They can protect it for absolutely ever. And they're opting to not actually go for it at all. Force them to point by just going straight to point. And now they have to give up that high ground. Very smart play here. Great rotate there from Detroit.
Yeah, Shadowy popping the Nemesis form, punching Dyer to death, answering back for Helios, and Darklaw answers back for Smooth, a very stalled, a really smart attack coming out from the side of Louisville to try and force point, gets immediately stomped upon by Detroit.
A little bit of a caster curse there. I shouldn't talk about anyone's rotations. Everyone's rotations are terrible. You're all doing awful. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Rotate smarter, 5-head. Smooth getting off of the Tracer, going over to the Sojourn in response, and Blue Jay with that Torb turret just marking the Tracer. It becomes a lot harder to get in and get out as our favorite time traveler coming through. But Banger opening up, destroying Blue Jay's turret as both teams are posturing through the choke. Ricochet dropping the beat, trying to channel everyone through, and Dyer opens up with a pick onto Trash Can. Brig down, and now Smooth answers back for Darklaw. That's both supports down. Dyer answering back for Blue Jay, and Louisville finally getting some point progress.
Absolutely, you love to see it, but a very dominating, pretty much going to be right around 90% here right when they take it. 87% here in favor of Detroit. If you're Louisville, one team fight's all you got.
It's one team fight territory indeed, but that was it was a little expensive for the side of Detroit. In using both the Ram ult and the Torb ults in order to break through. But both support ults coming up for the side of Detroit. Let's see if they can answer back as the fight kicks off.
Absolutely. And Hydro in the chat here, I hate you, love you. Trades coming out here from both teams, Graveloat and Helios going down there. Great picks coming out of Graveloat and Dire, though. And they're just going to be held here on the part of Detroit for a little bit. They can afford to take their time. They've got that nice buffer between them and Louisville, and it looks like they're going to use it to rotate straight to point, and Louisville's going to realize right now and follow them over there. As the Torb goes behind to attempt to get the pick out on the Juno, something on the back line there. And we are now fighting up on point. Great picks coming out there from Gravelot and Blue Jay.
Yeah, both Dire and Helios going down. Darklaw answers back for Ricochet. Smooth does finally take the counter Sojourn out, but he's the last one alive. And exit frag or not, it is Detroit flipping the point back in favor, and last minute contests need to come out on the side of Louisville.
I don't quite think they're going to be able to make it, just barely if they do. And they don't.
It is very unfortunate. You're looking to Dire on the Tracer there to be the one coming in for the touch, but unfortunately eats a Cheeto to the skull, courtesy of Blue Jay, and that will be Detroit winning first round.
Absolutely. First point there going to Detroit. Starting off the series there with a bang. Rather dominant first round from them there. Very, very clean rotations coming out. Good engages. Using high ground, collapsing to point when need be. Not getting baited out by, the Torb flank. Very solid stuff out of this roster so far. And Louisville definitely looking to answer back. Not that they're completely on the back foot, though. We saw some signs of life there. We may see some Gamba yet.
We may see some Gamba yet. Ricochet going over to the Zenyatta, getting off of the Lucio and Trash Can, getting off of the Brig, going over to the Kiriko, a pick they're more well known for. But both teams, as Sanctum opens up, fighting over the high ground beneath the edge of the point, and Shadowy almost goes off the edge. Will make it up just in time, but both teams are answering through. But Detroit has all the space. That Discord Orb hurts so much for that tank. And Ricochet's the first to go down. I just cast or cursed it. Dire Shadow answering back for 2 onto Banger and Dire. And yeah, I just cast or cursed it. Sorry, Louisville.
You did. Sorry, Louisville. That's the second time. Listen. We both get one. We can't do it again. You hear me? No talking up these teams. You guys are doing terribly.
Louisville, get together.
Gravelot though now on the Ashe, that switching from that Sojourn there that we saw in the first round there for Detroit seems to be working out pretty well so far.
No Kiriko on the side of Louisville, so nothing to really answer back and cleanse those dynamites. It's that Dire can land on the same side. And Shadow kicking off, popping the Annihilation, runs down Dire, runs down the Zenyatta, and it's all aggressive. It's all Detroit in that kill feed as they stuff the choke. 40% and counting on the point.
Very, very, very solid gameplay coming out here from Detroit. Louisville need something. They need something to get that momentum going and keep them in this Nepal map.
Something indeed. And Banger getting off of the Ramatra, going over to the Junker Queen. And fight kicking off both support ults on the side of Louisville coming out in response. And Smooth and Dire answering back for Darklaw and Gravelot. As both teams fighting through the choke. But Louisville, really expensive ult fight just to break through the choke, and they haven't even made it towards point yet. Sure, Ricochet turns around and gets a pick onto Blue Jay, but they're starting to backcap, 72% in counting before the flip comes through, but it's all for naught if you don't win the fight, and they thankfully do.
72% though, same situation roughly that we saw in the first round here on Nepal. If you're looking at this from Louisville's perspective, you gotta move through this faster. You want to get your staggers out, that's fine, but you gotta make your way to point.
You have to make your way to point, indeed. And Louisville don't have the same presence. They can't really stuff the chokes as effectively and keep Detroit get kept for so long. As fights kick off, Bob's answering back on both sides. It's a Bob duel on the side, but Blue Jay on the point, flips the point and steals it back from the hands of Louisville, and another annihilation from Shadow, who sure gets dire, will get answered by Banger, but it is just all Detroit in the kill feed as we are hitting one fight territory.
And I mean, it's going to be a real question whether they can make it back here. Roughly 10 seconds to go if they want to stay up on this map, and I think that's going to be it here.
The floor, Blue Jay saying the floor is lava. Ricochet with the speedy transcendence.
Rico making it in.
Gets the
Let's go, Rico.
And we'll answer back for one. Another huge annihilation from Banger. Hits 3, but Blue Jay is able to get trash can, but everyone else on the side of Louisville is falling to the molten core that was on the floor. And as OT is ticking down, it will be Detroit taking the Paul 2-0.
A very commanding first map there from Detroit. Decisive, very decisive, not just in the victory, but also in their decisions during the game. I mean, you didn't have Blue Jay on the Junkrat, but he pulled out the Torb, and he was absolutely putting in work there. No questions asked.
No questions asked, indeed.
What are your thoughts? Do you think he stays on the Torb?
I mean, if we've seen anything like it's been playing the game, whether it be quick play, whether it be ranked, Spider Torb is back with the level 3 perk upgrade, and he is strong right now. I would not be surprised to see Blue Jay continue to rock the Junkrat unless a target ban comes through. And as we're saying that Ricochet and Louisville calling out the next map, they are opting to go to Rialto.
And Rialto, interesting pick there. What do you think? What do you think is the psychology there? What's the reason behind this Rialto pick here coming out from Louisville?
If you're going to Rialto, you're either looking to Banger to pull out the wrecking ball that we've known him to play and really try and start running around causing some chaos in Detroit's backline, or you're looking to the hands of Smooth and Dire to pop off on the long range hit scan and really start showing why they are some of our most fearsome DPS players.
Very fair point there. I mean, do we see a Widow perhaps? Do we see some Widow gaming coming out?
I feel like I feel like you toss Smooth on the Widowmaker, you toss Dire on the Hanzo, get a double sniper look going. Rico popping the Zenyatta, finding some really important picks and putting a lot of pressure on this Detroit side with that Discord orb. It feels I can see where Louisville's coming from with this map pick, as we're waiting for Detroit to say whether they want to attack first or defend first.
It is early on in the season. There are a lot of teams that haven't, managed to quite set up their, not set up, but really figure out what exactly their strongest maps are. But who knows? Maybe Rialto is the secret sauce that Louisville needs to get their momentum going. I'm excited to see it.
Excited to see it indeed. And Detroit coming back. Detroit answering back with the initial ban. They are choosing to ban Diva. Take her out of here. No Diva. Not allowed. Not for this map.
Interesting Diva ban.
Rialto.
They want that hit scan.
Yeah. They want that hit scan indeed, but it could also be a protect ban on the side of Detroit trying to keep the Sigma in play.
Possible, very possible. So many. I love sitting here trying to figure out what exactly are we going to see here in 20, 30 seconds, whatever it might be. And then sometimes every once in a while we get pleasantly surprised.
Every once in a while, we do get pleasantly surprised indeed. Louisville on the answer back for the counter ban cannot ban a tank, but can ban a DPS or a support player or support hero. if you're answering back, Arnos, how do you answer back if you're Louisville?
I mean, honestly, my answer will always be Doomfist. In fact, you play 5 Doomfists. Hopefully, you can get a 6th, and then you get a Zarya. Actually, you get 6 Zaryas to bubble all the Doomfists, and that typically solves the problem. In fact, it solves most problems in my life. Flat tire last week, bubble Doomfist managed to get the job done. I'm a pretty pretty simple guy.
Hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with that. And we do have a swap. We do have a substitution coming in. Louisville, Helios stepping out of the lineup, Soup stepping into the lineup.
Interesting. Very interesting. The chances that we don't see a Lucio here have been reduced to pretty much 0. And marked in the chat coming out with the W prod for the band graphics. Who's responsible for graphics? Is it Cool?
It is Cool. They are responsible.
Cool. Go ahead, Mark. Shout out to Cool here in the booth with us as we speak right now. Your broadcaster in chief, and keeps the stream going and the graphics. 2-for-1 deal.
2-for-1. 2-for-1 deal. And Ricochet for Louisville. We ban Juno, I think. Yeah, Juno. We ban Juno. It's
actually a hypothetical. It's a Schrodinger's Juno ban. Yeah, you don't know if Juno's banned until you enter the map and collapse the wave function, thereby finding out whether Juno still exists or not. High level Overwatch theoretical physics here.
I didn't realize that my United Rogue Overwatch stream was gonna have a physics lesson in it.
It's what we do here. It's what production does. If you're looking to join production, by the way, it does come with a free physics course, courtesy of Andrew. Once again, 2-for-1 deal. We like everyone has to have at least 2 jobs, minimum 2.
Minimum 2 jobs indeed. As we're getting into the map, no Juno, no Diva for this map, but as we're opening it up, anything, Soup coming into the lineup, anything that you maybe want to see or that you could predict, just knowing these teams, knowing who's on the field?
Who are we going to see? Well, I took too long. Looks like you were correct. There was going to be a Widow. And there it is, coming out from Smooth. Does Dyer throw the Hanzo in there?
I would not be surprised if
we got the Lucio.
Yeah, Soup Lucio. Soup Lucio.
If Soup is in the game, as sure as the sun is to rise in the morning tomorrow, you will see a Lucio on the map.
I believe. Hold up. I believe we have a call. I believe we are taking a call right now. Winton is discussing business.
Winton is discussing business. This is accurate, broadcaster. Please make sure to get that. And here we go. I don't know what sort of information Winston got there, but I guarantee you what we will see are some Lucio rollouts coming out here from Soup, and what I think will be some monkey business on the part of Louisville. Sorry, my bad. Yes.
Yeah. Monkey business indeed, as Shadowy going in, diving on top of Soup. Rico playing out his bubble, gets swept up, and Dyer, before Rico can even get the Soup can get the environmental kill, Dyer will just end Shadowy's life right then and there. That is the tank on the side of Detroit down, and now the map is starting to open up entirely for Louisville.
I mean, it's a good question. Will it continue to remain open? Your Winton's already back. Takes out Dyer. Fantastic monkey business there. Blue Jay with a follow-up on a Smooth, taken out by the Ram there by Lieutenant Banger, who was getting chased into spawn by a big gorilla.
By a large scientist indeed, as Shadowy ends up eliminating the Lucio. Funny Frog Man going back to the respawn queue.
Absolutely. We called it. There would be, sorry, not monkey, there'd be gorilla business. And you're always happy to see it.
You're
and
always
then-
having... Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're always having to see indeed as Shadow falling really low, getting slowed by the Ram Nemesis Vortex, has to back out, stabilize a little bit, and on the next engage, will dive in, eat the Bionade, we'll get the Nano indeed, but Banger answering back, taking out the Tracer before the Winston can answer back for 2 on the side of Louisville. Well, Shadow showing why they can, what a
Almost
Nano
gets
Monkey
out.
can do. Almost gets out indeed, will eat a railgun from the side of Smooth. As Blue Jay sitting on the high ground, falling really low. Oh, almost falls, but Smooth has to back out. Gets slow. Blue Jay gets slowed by the Ram Vortex, can't
he's
slide
getting
away.
dived. He's
Everyone's
getting
just collapsing onto this Sojourn. And
Great move
Blue Jay?
there, getting that
Yeah.
Soj off the high ground, but Winston's in the back, monkey business coming in, gets slept, gets up, gets angry, gets primal. And Ram doing the same thing here. Don't think it's going to be, have the same effect. And the Ram goes down.
No, Ram will fall to the hands of Darklaw, but Smooth answering back for Trash Can, and Soup turning around, punching Shadowy back to the respawn queue. The Primal Monkey in the backline, sure, distracts it, but Banger just having to pop that Annihilation in order to save themselves. Bob coming in from Dire, answering back and forcing the Sojourn to back up into a position, will get counter-pincered by Smooth, and Smooth will find the pick onto Blue Jay. That is the DPS for Detroit down. Huge Bionade. They fall, hitting 2 on the side of Louisville, as Shadowy losing the armor, just getting punched to death by the Ram Nemesis form. Gets the Nano. Oh, Pulse Bomb stuck onto Dire, and Gravlet for 2 before falling to the Pulse Bomb, as Smooth answering back with the Overclock. Blue Jay popping another Overclock. What can he get done with it? Smooth got 1. Can Blue Jay answer back? That looks like it. Spending a lot of time chunking down the tank, but Smooth will answer back for Blue Jay, and this should be Louisville getting this first point.
Not just yet. They're here. They're in it to fight. No ults really right now, but they're going to do their best to try and contest that point. And that's going to be it. They finally managed to get it. Shadowy right now is putting in massive amounts of work. What I'm seeing here, though, is that they're getting a little bit spread, actually.
Yeah, they're getting a little spread. Dire able to turn around, pick off the Ana before falling to the hands of Shadowy, but that's fine. You're the Tracer. You come back fast, and it's leaving space for Louisville to push up to get the cart over the bridge and start rounding the corner.
Yep, there you go. They will make a good bit of progress here. Still on that Winston, still trying to go ahead and disrupt that back line.
Still trying to disrupt that backline indeed, as Shadowy dropping down from the high ground, dropping the bubble onto cart, trying to contest things as the Tracer going through in the backline, and Shadowy popping the Primal. What can he get done? That is one angry monkey juggling Ricochet around on the Kiriko. Falls extremely low, has to Suzu themselves in order to survive, but Shadowy turns around, picks off Smooth in all of that Primal Rage. That is the Sojourn down, all hands on Dire. As Blue Jay answering back for Soup. No Lucio on the side of Louisville, and Louisville backing up.
I mean, I'm going to be honest right now, Shadowy is the star of this Rialto show. I mean, he may be going down every once in a while, but regardless, he is putting in absolutely monumental amounts of work.
Yeah, the amount of space that's getting created for the rest of this Detroit team to work in, it's huge. It is huge, and Banger is trying to answer back, but there is no diva. You can't answer it back by running a diva into him. You either mirror the monkey or you stick to your guns and you force this pick to work. As Smooth coming through sends a railgun into Blue Jay as Gravlet falls off the map for some reason. That's both DPSs down for the side of Detroit. Smooth answering back for Trash Can. It is now Darklaw only as he nanos himself. As he nanos Shadowy, using the Ana level 3 perk to nano himself as well to eat the dive, but Banger will come through and will just punch Darklaw back to respawn.
Absolutely, and Shadowy is separated from point and dead. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think this might just end up being point here on the part of Louisville.
It might be point, but Gravlet trying to go through a good test. Sticks Soup. Soup will fall to the pulse bomb. Buys enough time for Trash Can to pop the rally and get back through, but Banger popping the Annihilation and cycling through, but falls extremely low, gets stunned out, and Blue Jay will answer back with the overclock shot through. 10 seconds left on the clock. What can Louisville do?
What a great stop there, and great stuns coming out there from Trash Can on that brig, doing absolutely great work, making sure to stop that ram in his tracks.
Yeah, Dyer and Rico in for the touch. Soup coming through. Soup almost Ajaxes. I think that wasn't Ajax. I might be wrong. We need to confirm that, but I do not see overshields coming through. As Blue Jay answering through Shadowy, another Primal sends Rico back to respawn, and it will be stopped right before B.
What a fantastically strong defense here coming out from Detroit as we go into round 2 here. I mean, it's winnable. It is absolutely winnable here. But, you know, for both teams. But who do you think? Who do you think is going to edge out the other? Give me a cast or curse real quick.
If I'm going to cast or curse it, I would say Shadowy on the Winston has been creating so much space for Blue Jay, for Gravlet to come through, to start and to find the time in order to take the shots that they are taking. I think if the Detroit defense was this strong, then what can their attack be like when all they have to do is push as far as Louisville made it?
We'll see. We will see. And Shadowy immediately back. Oh my goodness. Oh, here it comes. Oh, they've had enough.
Yep.
Louisville has set a gun in each hand and a smile on my face.
Louisville said it's time to put the monkey in the cage. As Banger going over to the Malga, Dyer getting off the Tracer, going over to the Reaper in order to start. This tells me they've had enough of Shadow on the Winston, but Shadow starting on the ball.
Shadow starting on ball. That pizza slice that Banger pulled out there. Well, we'll see. Oh my goodness! Oh my Smooth!
Smooth! You know what? Smooth saying, sit down, Blue Jay. My map. My turn. As Soup answering back, booping Trash Can off the map, potentially? Not entirely sure, but Blue Jay immediately getting off of the Widowmaker, answering back, mirroring the Soj.
Absolutely, and Baltimore had a ball last season, and I've seen that guy put in work. We may have had a rough season, but he absolutely put in loads of work, and I think Shadowy here might just do the same. But I think they're going to do everything in their power to make this ball's life absolutely miserable.
Yeah, as Banger overrunning through, crit stomping Blue Jay, sending him back to respawn. Dyer answering back for Trash Can, and it's looking like a Louisville hold right now.
It sure is, and Louisville managing to shut this down for now. But a little less than 3 minutes on the clock. They've got time to push if they can get their momentum going.
They can get their momentum going into Shadow, getting off of the Wrecking Ball, going over to the Junker Queen, realizing that the ball was just wasn't providing enough space, wasn't getting enough done for the rest of the team to come through. Blue Jay falling really low, sliding aggressively into the next high ground to try and juke Smooth out, but Smooth backing up and giving some space over. As Banger falling really low, has to overrun back and get some care from his supports, and Smooth turning around in the tiny room. Tiny Overwatch comes through, and Smooth will win against Blue Jay again. As the Nano goes out onto the Junker Queen, will turn around, pick off Banger, tank down on the side of Louisville, and Trash Can and everyone else on Trash Can bashing through. Everyone else on Detroit just slow but steady answering through. Rico popping the Kitsune Rush, has to Suzu, uses it to save himself.
Shadow
around with the haste and pops Shadow, sends it back to spawn. Soup turning around, answering back for Dark Claw, and that is enough time for Banger to come back. Blue Jay popping the overclock. Can he get anything done? No, he cannot. He will fall to Banger as Smooth turns around, sends a rail headshot right into Gravlet. And that is another hold on the side of Louisville.
Absolute heartbreak there. Shadowy got left completely alone on point, on payload, won that JQ. I mean, he got left there 1v4 and got respectfully cleaned.
Yeah.
That is a comms issue right there if I've ever seen one. It does happen though, and they do have the time to make it right.
They do have the time to make it right. Blue Jay getting off of the Sojourn, going over to the Torbjorn of all things, and Banger and Dyer put the Reaper Death Blossom into the cage, and that's a casual 3K for Louisville.
And this is going to be a huge stagger here on the part of Shadow. I mean, taken down here, about 50 seconds left, and Detroit, I mean, they've got to get something going here.
They got to get something going, and you're looking to Shadow, who has the queen ult on the board, but Soup does have a beat and can answer right back, and Smooth has the overclock. If we've seen what Smooth has done so far, forcing Blue Jay to get off of the Sojourn, go over to the Torbjorn of all things, I would not want to be this hit scan player right now, right here, right now.
And there it is, early ult followed by an early beat, but Shadow is completely separated. 3v1 in that back room. Is he going to live? He does not. He goes down. It's going to be a 3K, 4K, and that's going to be it there.
Yeah, it'll be final 10 seconds. Smooth popping the overclock, shutting everyone down with the faster rail charges, and Rico answering back. One Gravelet going down, and sure, let's put a celebratory Kitsune rush out. It'll be Louisville tying up the series, going 1-1.
And to our lovely viewers out there, we have ourselves a series.
And we have ourselves a series, and thanks in part to this man that's on your screen right here, right now. Smooth shutting down Blue Jay in the hit scan duel, and showing why he's one of the top DPS players in our Ruby League.
Absolutely. And that's it. I mean, we've seen both of these teams pull off dominating maps. I mean, I went from, you know, it's gonna be Detroit, to that's it. We've got ourselves a match, and we've got ourselves a real match.
We got ourselves a series indeed. Now, if you're Detroit, if you're Detroit, where are you opting to go? No escort on the table. You still have hybrid, so you still have hybrid, you still have push, you still have flashpoint. They opt for the first hero ban instead. Interesting. Thank you, cool. Thank you, production.
Cool here in the booth with us, giving us that valuable intel. Thank you, cool. This message brought to you by Cool. Graphics, broadcasting, casting, you name it, Cool's got it.
They are on top of their game indeed. As Louisville are double checking to make sure that whatever is going through is legal, can happen.
But really the question is here, should Ricochet be allowed to make any decisions in here? He's very stinky, and he obviously has not gone ahead. I mean, the real question is should he be allowed to face Trash Can here?
You know what? The battle of the supports, indeed.
I mean, think about it.
I'm thinking.
And I mean, he's obviously biased. All of League operations is currently paralyzed. Nobody can make any decisions, and I guess we're going to Blizzard World.
And we are going to Blizzard World, indeed. We are going to Blizzard World, and you know, another map that is historically very open. A lot of long sight lines. If you wanna let Smooth pop off like he just did on this last map, this is probably one of the best maps you could pick to send Detroit to. And Detroit coming through, they are opting to attack first, and they are coming in with the target ban immediately, taking Soj off the table.
And Smooth coming in with the all-right buddy, very tactical all-right buddy out there. Darklaw is now sad, and Smooth has is just ruined the mood.
I mean, listen, if you are going to have a performance like that on Rialto, I do not blame you at all on the side of Detroit for turning around and taking the funny railgun character away from Smooth.
Funny railgun character, budget server admin, whatever you want to, you know, I don't even know, the Canuck catastrophe. I I don't really know what cool nickname Soj has got.
And
Ramtada has been banned.
Ramtada.
A reminder that you could become what is Rico, director of the league or commissioner or something like that, whatever he is. And you can get to that position, make it into Ruby, be a fantastic player, and still not know the names of the characters. And apparently Ramtada has been banned. No relation to Ramatra, of course.
No relation. No relation indeed.
And Gravelot says that, quote, bro, a headless chicken could be in, and we'd still ban Soj. And I don't understand what's wrong with a headless chicken. There are some metas where I'm sure a headless chicken would do great. Personally,
I guess either way, headless chicken could be coming through, and yes, Soj is still broken. Soj broken to some, if you want to call it, or she's just dominant. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I just comment when people click heads.
You don't make the rules?
No,
Who
nah.
does?
They wouldn't let me balance it. Otherwise, it would be giving Ryan all the perks.
And Hydro here attempting to just straight up gaslight Cool, I guess. Thanks, Hydro. We see you, by the way. We see you. No, the graphic is not wrong. It's 1-to-1, and Tracer Racer with the hashtag Stop Headless Chicken Hate. Thank you very much, Tracer Racer, sticking up for all of the headless chickens in this game. I'm pretty certain that it accounts for a significant portion of the player base.
Probably,
not naming any names.
It definitely counts for me when I play this game. I definitely run around like a headless chicken sometimes.
Also true.
Yeah, don't let me play DPS. You don't want to see this.
But hashtag boneless meta coming out in the chat.
Hashtag boneless meta.
Please don't start boneless meta. I don't need boneless meta. We have enough problems in United Rogue Overwatch with wacky comps. I don't need somebody inventing boneless meta. I don't know what that would even be. You know what, chat?
Oh boy. Convince me.
No, don't ask them to convince you.
I'm encouraging them.
Asking them to convince you? Don't bait. You ever hear the whole "don't feed the bear" from Winnie the Pooh? This is don't bait Twitch chat. This is one of the basic rules of this platform.
You know what? If I'm making a mistake, I'm making a mistake.
The problem is, God forbid they deliver.
I expect Twitch chat to deliver. I would expect nothing less from the United Road community as the doors are opening up. Blue Jay onto the Sim, Shadowy still onto the Monkey, and Gravelot on the Tracer. Smooth, no Soj in hand, will go to the Torbjorn. TP up onto the first high ground, and Gravelot turning around, answering back, and taking out Smooth's turret. Banger sitting on the point. Everyone else on the side of Louisville poking, prodding around, forcing Detroit to answer through. Another TP through, another onto the high ground. Blue Jay trying to TP Dyer down, but Dyer answering back, and Shadow will fall to the hands of Smooth. Blue Jay turns around, picks the Lucio off from the side of Louisville, so it is a 4v4 on point, but another turret is down, and it is currently zoning the supports back as another trade through. Gravelot takes out Dyer, and Blue Jay falls. Gravelot answering back, taking down Smooth, and Shadowy getting off of the Monkey onto the Diva as both teams are poking, prodding through, and it's still just a hold on the side of Louisville.
And I mean, a fantastic win there on the part of Grav-a-Lot against Torb and his turret. And it looks like we've got ourselves a quick point take here.
We got ourselves a quick point take. Sure, yeah, well, not sure. By the time they started getting on a green in percentage, it was quick, but that was a slog and a half. Excuse me. As change is coming about, Shadowy onto the Diva, Banger in response, getting off of the Malga, going to the Zarya, and Dyer getting off the Ashe, going over to the Cassidy, trying to help shut this Tracer down a little more. as they've been popping off, starting to wake up a little bit. TP onto high ground, on the Blue Jay trying to establish some height, establish some dominance. Nano out onto the Diva. What can they get done? And Shadowy turns around, burns Dire down, bonks him in the head for a good measure, and flying through will run down Smooth as well. That's both DPSs from Louisville down, and it is just everyone backing up. Banger falling really low. Unfortunately, will not get carried in time, and Blue Jay will find the final blow onto the Zarya, resetting her energy. But all of this, sure, it's a dominant Detroit victory so far, and it's just one brig on card.
Soup. Oh, just sent Shadowy to the Shadow Realm.
I mean, that is our Reddit Lucio right here, right now. I would not want to be anywhere near an edge with Soup on the field as both teams poking, prodding through. Ooh, Detroit almost getting to the very end before Banger drops down and touches. Is Molten Core out from Smooth, but both turrets coming through. High Noon out, gets slept immediately from Darklaw. Diva Bomb out will force Banger back into the respawn queue. Trash can popping off, getting Smooth, and ult's coming through, but Rico and Dire answering back, making it even, but Gravlot on the Tracer is just able to sneak it through.
Absolutely, and I think the eponymous Tracer Eraser said it best. Don't step to Soup, or you'll get canned.
Aha! Gotta love the puns, gotta love the wordplay going on in Twitch chat indeed. TP up onto the high ground, Blue Jay trying to take some space, forcing this Louisville to back up, and Shadowy diving in. Another beautiful Biodate comes through. Darklaw turns around, picks off Smooth. That's the main down. Gravlot sticking Dire. Why not? Rico does answer back for the Tracer, but it is all Detroit in the kill feed so far. As I say that though, Banger turns around, picks off the Winston, so no more scientists, and this push finally looks like it's stopping.
I mean, roughly a little less than 4 minutes to go here. You've got a monster time bank that you've got to get through there, and it's not going to be easy.
It's not,
as we've already seen.
Yeah.
And there he goes, right up onto the high ground.
Right up on the height, Nano through. Ooh, Darklaw showing off that level 3 perk, allowing Ana to get itself nano as she nanos someone else. As Rico does fall, that is the majority of the healing down from the side of Louisville. Trashcan having to pop the rally in response as Gravlot falls in the Grav. And Dire popping the high noon, gets stunned out of it from Trashcan. This is the second time Dire has had a high noon that has not gone off. As Shadow coming through, burning the Cowboy down, primaling Soup into a paste into the corner, and it's all Detroit coming through. Another angry monkey kill. Oh, goodbye Ricochet. Pulse bomb out from Smooth doesn't manage to hit anything. Dire desperately coming back onto the Venture, trying to stall for as much time as he can. Will eat a dynamite through, but Soup thankfully comes through and gets beat over shields onto Dire, and it buys enough time for the rest of Louisville to pop on through, as Rico dropping the Kitsune Rush on point, and Smooth and Dire answering back for Darklaw and Blue Jay. And it will be a hold on the side of Louisville.
What a hold. I mean, oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, huge.
by the skin of their teeth.
Yes.
By the Venture contest. Great stuff coming out there from Louisville on that hold. Roughly 2 minutes to go. They're about halfway through that time bank right now. Can they hold it through?
And they hold it through indeed. Dire popping through, coming back up, almost falls to the hands of the monkey. Does get enough healing of Fuda in time in order to save themselves. Blue Jay sending a TP bomb through, will eventually take the turret through, but Soup and Smooth going down. Trashcan using the empowered level 3 punch to send Dire into the wall, and it is all Detroit coming through. They will finish all 3 points of Blizzard World. 1 minute, 38 seconds on the time bank.
And a commanding time lead there, but a great job there on the part of Louisville, hopping that down that far. I mean, they had such a massive time bank there at the beginning. Great job there from both of these teams.
Yeah, great job from both these teams indeed. And if you are Detroit, this is the answer back you want. Take the attack and finish the map in the fashion that you did. Blizzard World, a very, very notoriously hard map to finish. So the fact that you finished with time and you finished with over a minute in the bank, the pressure is on for Louisville. The answer back, you must finish. And ideally you are finishing with any amount of time.
Absolutely. And here we go, and Dyer is on the Hanzo. Oh my goodness. Is it happening? We got it, the Widow Hanzo comp. Here for you, we've got it. We've been asking for it. Ask and you shall receive.
Ask and you shall receive indeed. Widow Hanzo double snipers. I'm not sure how long they're willing to stay on it because the rest of the comp in spawn looks like more of a traditional brawl style comp. But if you can get the opening pick like Smooth was able to do on Rialto, that's a huge amount of space. That's a huge amount momentum swing that you can answer through as you open up on the attack.
Absolutely, and here we go. I mean, we're rolling. We're rolling out.
We're rolling through indeed. And it is Detroit holding that high ground, fortified with the Symmetra turrets. A TP going through. Looks like it's just a bait in order to try and, draw some attention away as Dyer popping the storm arrows, trying to get something done. But Louisville aren't able to find anything just yet. Winston going in onto the backline, and Dynamite out, and Dyer turns around with the storm arrows, manages to send Dark Claw right back to respawn. Gravlot does answer back, so it's a 4v4, but it's coming up Detroit in the kill feed as Trashcan and Blue Jay will turn around and pick off Rico and Smooth respectively.
Very, very nice hold there. I mean, they capitalized on catching people out and clinically good through good target acquisition, right? Went ahead and just dismantled this attack. Well, I mean, they've done it once. They're gonna have to do it a few more times, and we are out on the Mauka. It's worked before. Let's see if it works again.
It's worked before. This also reads more in response to Blue Jays Symmetra. That beam, the DM will not eat any beam damage, and it will just go through. So this answers back a little bit nicer into the arms of what Detroit are running. As I said that though, Shadowy is the first to fall. Banger popping the cardiac overdrive. Will fall in response, but it is the rest of Louisville coming through, answering back. Smooth and Dyer all in the kill feed. Gravlaw is just left by themselves. Will eat a dynamite courtesy as Smooth, and 2 minutes have gone on the clock, but Louisville finally getting some point progress going.
And take a look at Shadow. He's jumping up and down there. He's itching to get into point. Manages to make it, and there we go. Here comes the Primal. Do they manage to get it back?
Do they manage to get it back? But Dyer turning around, sending Darklaw back to respawn with the storm arrows, and I see that the level 2 perk going through, so we do have scatter arrows coming through, but Gravlot and Shadowy answering back for both DPSs. Soup does get Shadowy down, but Blue Jay on the sim is able to answer back, but that is a Malga on point, forcing the Bob from Gravlot, and
Louisville. What a save.
Yeah.
What a save. What incredible defense. Great stuff here coming out from Louisville.
Great stuff coming out indeed. But if you're Louisville, you did force a lot. You did force Detroit to part with a lot of resources. Notably, even Gravlot's Bob at the very end. Smooth is about to come up with a Bob of his own, and Banger is about to have a cage online. This could turn in Louisville's favor really quickly if they play their cards right.
There you go. Yeah, Detroit, Louisville, mix it up there a little bit.
yeah, getting there eventually.
Well, I'll figure out which teams are which. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, best prod. Only our best members of prod going through. Nano out onto the Diva. Soup dropping the beat and Rico dropping both. Rico answering back with both support.
This might be a huge cage. I mean, look at them.
Yeah. Huge cage indeed. Dyer turning around, answers back for Darklaw. Soup and Rico answering back for Gravlot and Trashcan. And Dyer another storm arrow going through, picking off the baby Diva. Will eventually fall to the sim in the end, but it will be Louisville capping point A, and we're going through the theme park.
It's all technically it's all a theme park.
We're going further into the theme park. How about
Going
that?
further into the theme park. There you go.
We're going further. Getting there eventually. as both teams are posturing through on the high ground, trying to establish some form of control. Well, Diva and Sim forcing the Hanzo back towards Cart a little bit, making them respect the space a little bit. As both teams prodding through, look to smooth, look to these DPS players on both sides. What can they get done? And as team fight kicking off, and Banger is kind of isolated by the Sim wall. Will overrun through a little bit to force some of Detroit back in order to get back towards the cart, but Shadow turns around, bonks Dire in the head. That takes the Dragon Strike right out of question for this fight, and another huge Suzu coming through on the side of Rico to stabilize and not let anyone else fall. Bob coming out will get slept almost immediately. We'll get naded, and Dire launching a dragon from the spawn, trying to get something done, but I think that might be a little bit of a misplay from the side of Dire, a little bit of an overestimation on where the cart is and where everyone else will be playing. Shadowy gets popped out of mech and will immediately fall, and it is Louisville starting the push. Or continuing the push. Excuse me.
Yep, and I mean, we're seeing some big distance here coming out from Louisville. Do they manage to crack this high ground that they're assembling here on the part of Detroit?
Do they manage to crack it? But Louisville opting to just go hide in the tiny room, not eat any of the poke coming through. Ooh, and Bob coming out, stalling cart, forcing people through, but Blue Jay turns around, answers for Smooth. That is the sniper down. Gravlaw answering back for Soup. That's two down. Rico does answer back for Gravlaw, but it is a 3v4 on the point in favor of Detroit. And Dire falling late to the hands of Blue Jay. Banger just has to back up. Starting to soft engage, moving towards the high ground, posturing, trying to kick the final fight off on that high ground. Look to Rico and Banger on the side of Louisville in order to pop their ultimates, in order to try and force this point through.
I mean, they've got pretty much no time here. I mean, it is now or never.
It is now or never.
Banger's just getting kicked off that high ground. Tried to contest it, couldn't quite do it. Is now trying to burn that Diva, and he does. Shadowy guy is demeched. Bomb coming out. Doesn't get anyone, but he does get the remech. Does he manage to live?
Does
immediately,
get the
all of the ults going out. Everything is being burned.
Yeah, it
goes down. They need a pick.
It's a Q.
No.
In the middle of all of the Qs, it is one high charge Symmetra that will go through and start making the damage permanent, as Detroit turning around and taking the lead in our series. Going to match point.
It's not Louisville. It says Louisville, but it's not Louisville.
It says Louisville, but it is not Louisville indeed. As we are watching this man right here, Shadowy on the Winston, and primal masterclass, showing why he was doing, how much work he was able to get done going through.
Absolutely, and as we've all seen throughout this series, this Winton, this monkey, has been frankly deadly. Whether it be the primals, whether it be just general disruption, Shadowy is a nuisance in a good way. Well, for his team.
A nuisance in a good way indeed. Now Louisville have to answer back. You have push. You have push. You have flashpoint. Cool in chat. Switch names. Thank you.
And Rico coming out should be banned from the league, in my opinion. Absolutely, just get him out of here. We will obtain the banned hero. Also, no. Cool. What do you say we mount a rebellion here against our dear Rico? Oust him from his position, and I don't know what he has to do something embarrassing on stream, like sing karaoke or something. What do you think? Rico karaoke live on stream? Got to do it. -1 fish react for you, Rico, and boom, Cool has gone ahead, put him down, Doesn't matter, win or lose today, you're gonna be down one fish react, and that hits harder than anything in this life.
That's pretty serious.
I mean, it's pretty final. Rico is probably sitting there, head in his hands, devastated. That's it.
That's it. Rico's gonna tell Soup, my turn to play Lucio now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. F's in the chat, please. We can go ahead and get some F's in the chat.
Pay our
really
respects.
Appreciate that. Yep. But pay our respects to our dear Rico. I don't know if he deserves them, Question is, any map for winners?
Well, because of where we were in the series, we have already played Control, we have already played Escort, we have already played Hybrid. So the only maps that they have left to choose from are Flashpoint, which is New Junk City or Saravasa, or Push, which is all 4 push maps: Esperanza, New Queen Street, Colosseo, or Runasabi.
But the question being asked currently in the poll here in Twitch chat, which by the way everybody should go ahead and answer, is will there be any map for winners? Any map for winners? No. No, I'm gonna go ahead and vote no on that. Is there a no? Is there just a no? We got Det and Lou, and we don't have a no option. This should be investigated.
Frankly, why can't we tie? Where is my tie option?
Where's my no option? What is this?
Jeopardy from Lieutenant Banger as Detroit are thinking about the map, as Detroit are thinking over their map pick. Jeopardy theme plays in the background. And Darklaw answering for Detroit. Detroit opting to go to Esperanza.
Doesn't matter because Louisville actually has gone ahead and banned Overwatch. Therefore, meaning that our series for today is over. And we will all be playing Goose Goose Duck together this upcoming week.
Yeah. No more Overwatch for this week, but Goose Goose Duck indeed. As Rico coming through with Louisville's ban, Louisville opting to ban Ana going into this map.
You gotta say it right. Say it right.
No. Yeah, my apologies.
No. You think a tenor would do it right? No.
I mean, you would think a tenor would do it right. That's why it's Esperanza, not Esperanca, or it's Eichenwalde, not Eichenwald.
There you go. Oh my goodness, the pronunciation, the enunciation.
It's okay. I only sing in how many languages for work these days. And
listen, hey, I sang a Maori song once, which I still remember some of the words to.
Okay.
Hey, I don't sing well. I don't know, but sing yes.
I mean, well is a subjective term. I mean, singing well is subjective. I don't know. I think I sing horribly, but people, for some reason, will pay me money to do it these days. So.
Well, you being an operatic singer, I give the fantastic and famous example of the beautiful and talented Maria Callas, who was known to have an incredibly ugly voice and yet is considered one of the greatest female opera singers of all time. Actually, screw female. She's to this day considered one of the greatest opera singers of all time. Period.
She is a goat indeed. And Detroit's response back to getting Target banned by Louisville is to ban the Reaper.
And then to quote that bro is the next coming of Jay Jonak. Trust. I trust. Do you trust?
I trust indeed.
In Jonak we trust.
Wake up, babe! It's 2018.
And what? Wake up, babe! It's 2018. Mercy pocketed Zen's playing in the Overwatch League.
It's Moth Meta. Dive, and Jay Jonak is winning League MVP. We live in one of the best timelines imaginable. Captain Clutch SBB himself.
I don't know about best timelines, but in that time, best time.
Yes.
You know.
Mercy Mafia, rise up, please. Mercy Mafia, rise up. We love Moth Meta.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Full stop. You don't invoke the Mercy Mafia on this stream. Next thing you know, the Mercy subreddit's going to be coming after us. We here at United Rogue Overwatch, don't have... and here we go.
We here at United Rogue Overwatch stand our Mercy mains. We salute you, soldier. Keep pocketing your DPS players that are hitting absolutely nothing.
That's so mean.
Hi, I'm the DPS player that's hitting absolutely nothing.
Oh, you leave that DPS player alone.
As both teams are coming out with what looks to be some interesting comps going all around, and Louisville moving towards what we've seen as kind of the double builder comp that has taken prevalence through Korea and OWCS from week 2 and onward, except Banger opting to go onto the Hazard instead of the Wrecking Ball, as Louisville will off the rip get first control of the bot and start moving in their favor. As they say that though, Gravlot on the Tracer turning around, gets into the backline and sends Dire back to spawn. Banger does answer back for Blue Jay, but Darklaw sends a kunai straight into Rico's skull in order to send the bot over towards the Detroit side. Or, excuse me, over towards Louisville's side of the map. As Detroit
did it too.
I can tell my directions. Anyone who has played Overwatch with me knows that there is the actual direction, and then there is Zach direction when I'm shot calling. Still gotta hold up both hands. Which one makes the L? Which one doesn't make the L? How you tell the left from the right.
And Tracer just dropping propaganda here for Louisville in the chat. This is wild. We got the millions of fans copy pasta. We got the live laugh Lucio Louisville. This is crazy. This is insane. I can't believe this. And here we go. Oh my goodness.
So insane.
Shadowy's just sitting at a permanent like 20-30% health and just living.
Why not? Why not? Force them through, try and get something done as Blue Jay turns around, picks off Dire, sends him back to the respawn room, and it's just Louisville having to back up again. Shadowy does fall extremely low, but Smooth does fall to the hands of Blue Jay. The notorious Junkrat of his that got target bans mapped 1 is now coming out to play as Gravlot manages to send the pulse bomb off. Doesn't really stick. Don't know if they stuck anyone.
Is this one of the longest single pushes we've ever had in this league?
I think this is one of the longest. Yeah.
They just haven't stopped walking that bot.
They just haven't stopped walking that bot. They're gonna stop. They're gonna stop it right now as we have a Q Fest popping off right here, right now. As 4 ults on the side of Louisville go down, and it will be 2 players getting answered back. Like, make that 3 as Shadow turns around, guns down Dire, guns down Banger, and it's just the push continuing. Did Shadow just pull an ace?
I think he just did. I think we just had our first ace.
I think we just had a Diva ace, and it's just continuing as Louisville in shambles right now.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you're right at the end here. We got the Zarya now coming out. They're doing everything. They got the Sim. They are doing everything they can in the entire world to stop this. But Soup falls, and they're now down.
They're now down. Soup falls to the hands of Blue Jay, but Smooth Louisville's DP player answers back for Trash Can. Banger gets Darklaw. Smooth does eventually fall, but finally on the side of Louisville, they stopped the bot and are starting to push. And if there was ever a time to do it, Arnos, now is the time.
Yeah, any day now.
any day now. But seriously, with how dominant that push was, it was almost looking chalked. Huge plays from these DPS players, Smooth especially, to find that opening pick and start the push going.
They do need that momentum, and they need it desperately.
They need it desperately indeed. As Banger getting some high charge, but Shadowy getting off of the monk or the D.Va, excuse me, going over the Ramatra, and Dire turns around, answers back for Blue Jay. Banger falling really low. Dire does turn around, pick off Dark Claw, and that is two for the Sim player on the side of Louisville. Can he get a third?
My
Smooth will take away the third as he sends a railgun shot right into Trashcan's skull, and Banger turns around, answers back for Shadow. The Tracer, in all of that, does manage to get an exit frag onto Dire, but that'll be it.
And I mean, they get back to business, taking their bot for a walk.
Taking their bot for a walk, pushing through. If you are Louisville, you need to start getting progress going through fast. You have a long way to go in order to match Detroit. And
you bet they do.
Yeah.
But the Ram walking straight into the backline does not care. Here he goes, trying to get this Zarya down. Isn't going to manage to do so. Barely makes it. Oh, does not make it out. Dire picks up. Have you noticed that Dire's been just getting 2Ks out here?
Yeah, just a quick little 2K.
Every fight, quick 2K. Keep going.
Why not? Blue Jay through all of that did not fall in the grab. Did not fall to Dire. Was almost about to trade back, but decides safely to play their life as opposed to go for the kill. And the Riptire coming out. Ooh, what can Blue Jay get done? Climbing over the roof, going left, right, center. Can he get anything? And will turn around. Manage to burn down Ricochet. That is the Juno down. Pulse bomb out. Doesn't manage to hit anyone. But who needs it when you already are up a player and you're up the Juno? That is the majority of the healing. Gravlock turning around, picking off Smooth. They understand the assignment, and it's don't let Smooth pop off. Turns around, picks off Soup as well. Darklaw will fall to the hands of Blue Jay, but Darklaw will fall, but that's about it. And bot going back in favor of Detroit.
The disaster here on the part of Louisville. I mean, every moment at this point that bot is not facing in the other direction, you are losing, and you are losing big time. That is a massive bridge to gap, and this bot's now turning right back into the final phase. All that hard work, 2 team fights, has just been canceled in a matter of 1.
2 team fights indeed. And Dire using the Sim teleporter, getting behind Shadow. We'll get the bubble. And we'll start burning him down, forcing Shadow to basically turn around, do nothing with the Annihilation form, and Shadow has to answer back with the ultimate. Both orbital arrays traded through, but Ricochet turns around, picks off Gravlock, but Smooth falls. That is the overclock down. Nope. That is the overclock down. What can you do if you are Louisville and you have to touch with Soup's beat by enough time for Smooth to get back out and onto the field? And it looks like they are doing that as Rico picks off Trashcan. Smooth answers around, gets a railgun into Blue Jay to answer back. Will gun down Darklaw, and Banger picks off the tank. Another fight win for Louisville, but again, the bot needs to get off of your side and go onto the Detroit side.
And I mean, they're being very smart with this, right? Taking all that time on the tire, all of this just to run down the clock. You've gone the distance. That's good enough to win, right? You don't need to push the bot all the way. If you just make it so the other team really can't get to point, 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 2 seconds, I mean, that's it. You're doing your job. You're doing it great.
That's it indeed. But huge grab from the side of Banger, grabbing Darklaw and making sure to focus down the Kiriko, so there is no Kitsune rush on the field. Sure, it's a scrappy fight afterwards, and it turns around in favor of Detroit. But there is some momentum down at the very least. But unfortunately, Louisville do not turn off the forward spawns, so again, everyone just gets to come back that much faster, and they are giving up on the Zarya, going over to the Wrecking Ball.
They are, and Gravlot here way up on the front line, with this Ram, just trying to get that extra distance back, and let's see if it pays off.
See if it pays off indeed, as Blue Jay pops the Riptire, will gun down Smooth. Again, the overclock no longer on the field. Well, Detroit understand the assignment, and it's make sure that Smooth does not have fun right now, as Dire Shirt answers back for 2 before Gravlot will turn around and gun him down. And it's just all chaos. But Banger on the Wrecking Ball.
Wait, they don't realize the bot's not there. They don't realize the bot's not there. Oh no.
Thank you, Lieutenant Banger. We salute you for your services as you steal the bot away from Detroit. And Detroit panicking, resetting a little bit. They finally turn off the forward spawns, and now as we enter our final 40 seconds, all eyes on Louisville. Can you cycle a push through, or are you going to fall to the hands of Detroit? And Smooth with the overclock needs to get something done. Rico opting to drop the orbital right now. Blue Jay falling extremely low, and Smooth will turn around, find the opening, pick onto Darklaw. Dire answers back for Blue Jay, but Shadow with the annihilation turns around, runs down Soup, but it is all Louisville in the kill feed. As I say that though, Shadow answers for 3. Why not? Why not as the tank? Just casually get 3 on the bot, and no one can touch as you're going through, and answer back by enough time for people to come through. And Smooth still holding on to the overclock. Doesn't he opts to smartly hold on to it and not use it now, and will just gun Shadow down as Detroit finally making it to OT, but it is a huge push for Louisville.
Honestly, might have been smarter there to die on the ram to force the bot forward and split this Louisville team a little bit, right? But there you go. They've managed to push it all the way in there, and at this point, I mean, one team fight win here on the part of Detroit will win them not only the map but the series as well.
Yeah, and that you can't have that. Dire falls immediately to Blue Jay. Orbital Ray down from Trash Can, and to help cover Smooth. Shadow punching Rico to death with the annihilation, with the rampage, but Blue Jay answers back with a conch mine for Soup. Sure, there's some mines all around the bot, but it doesn't matter if Banger's the only one there because everyone else is falling. Sure, Darklaw does fall to the mines, but it's Blue Jay popping the Riptire in the kill feed, and it will be Detroit winning 3-1.
And JD is pissed. Coming out with a teabagging and an L is crazy. And we got a little bit of beef here. But honestly, both teams played very well. We saw moments of greatness from all around. Honestly, these teams are looking great. Right?
Yeah.
We're what, week 2 at right now? I mean, this is wild.
Yeah, it is shaping up to be a banger indeed. Detroit having a bye week last week, not knowing what they look like, coming through and showing that this Detroit team is ready to play.
Absolutely, and a congratulations here to the Detroit Wolfpack, a very solid 3-1 victory here over the Louisville Gamble. But once again, congratulations to both teams. And that's all I've really got. I mean, we're heading in here, got some more matches, I believe.
Yes,
plenty more.
Yep, more we got another match going on right now. From our Emerald team, being casted by Jay Swessler and Storm over on Andrew's Twitch account, and we have a couple other matches that are getting scheduled throughout the week. So stay tuned. We will have more matches to come in this week 2 of United Rogue Overwatch.
Before we head out, what is Andrew's Twitch so that people can go ahead and go check that out?
Prod, please help. I'm gonna phone a friend. Cool.
It doesn't matter. We are raiding. Hop with the raid and enjoy Andrew's Twitch. Support the Emerald players and the Emerald League. And thank you for being here with us for Ruby tonight.